Belonging to a community means that we're part of a complex network of social interactions and interests. Because of this, it's essential that designers ensure that the communities being developed bring the best in people. The question is, how do we design something that encourages an impactful and positive community? Hello creative people, and welcome to Subjective Design, the channel where we discuss design concepts with the goal that you and I will use these concepts in our future projects. I go by Alice, and in this video we'll be looking at community. Community is one of the essential design concepts. I call it essential because it's one of the concepts that seems to always be present regardless of what we design. Community is defined as a feeling of fellowship with others as a result of sharing common attitudes, interests, and goals. Communities can also be defined by their geographical location, but for this video I thought it would be more interesting if we talk more about the perceived or subjective types of communities, because the ideas still apply regardless of whether they're geographical or subjective. When trying to find the reason as to why people always join communities, the most common answer seems to be that human beings are social species in the sense that we're wired to engage in social interactions to help us survive and achieve our goals. This isn't surprising because by joining a community, we are able to fulfill the need to belong somewhere and at the same time differentiate ourselves from other people. This is a topic that came up in the previous video where people often join communities to find themselves and their own identity. Communal living is also a source for shared knowledge, common practices, values, and norms. And the shared experiences that people feel while in a community can often lead to a shared emotional connection and support. That is not to say that there are no negative communities where its members either don't feel as great as they could feel, or they make other people feel worse for whatever reason. And even ignoring the obviously toxic and corrupt communities, such as gangs or racist groups, we see that there are other ways that communities can be negative. An example of this is communities that come off as exclusive because people feel that there is no equal opportunity to join. And we see this when men or women are trying to choose a career path, but the one that they like is governed by the opposite gender. There are also communities that unconsciously marginalize others by commenting on preconceived assumptions that they have about that group. For an example of this is when people that live in the city comment on people that live in the farm, and the same can be said the other way around. Sometimes people don't want to be part of a community because of the stigma associated with it. This includes people thinking that you will underachieve because you come from a poor neighborhood, or that you have a specific type of personality because you're a vegan. Being part of an underdeveloped community can actually affect your health. This is seen in low-income groups of people, where it's more likely that you will smoke, that you will be obese, and that you will suffer from mental health conditions such as depression, stress, or nervousness. Positive communities, on the other hand, encourage self-discovery while maintaining ties between its members. They also allow people to express themselves so that they can build stronger relationships. By being a member, people feel empowered and passionate about their values and interests, and they remain respectful and inclusive to others' points of views because they understand that not everyone has the same needs or desires. At the end of the day, this is what gives them the resilience to overcome difficult times. For now, just imagine that you're an industrial designer who discovered a new passion for rare woods after finding a couple while on a hike. You want to find out what they are, and maybe even more interesting types, so that you can use them in your future projects. The thing is that you're not that good with technology, but luckily a friend told you about a website that you can look at. The site relies on images so that you can guess if it is what you're looking for. Since you come across 5 different possibilities, you give up because you're not sure and you don't know where to buy the specific product. You cannot easily ask other members because the site doesn't have a platform for conversation, and you don't know where to go in your city so that you can ask in person. If you do find a community, you're disappointed to find out that if you're not providing something, they're less willing to help you. In this scenario, designers can help develop positive communities that give people a place to belong to and nurture through interactive and exciting experiences. By focusing on technology and physical settings, designers can help users improve their organizing arrangements, such as community goals, strategies, or structure, and social factors such as management style, social networks, and interaction processes. There's many ways to do this, but I decided to categorize interventions by answering 3 questions: the where, the how, and the why. The where relates to facilitating locations and connectivity so that people can gather. An example of this is improving facilities so that community engagement activities are more successful. In an indoor setting, this could be a room that encourages conversation in an organized way. Outdoors, this could be a public space that allows for people to protest, but in a safe manner. I found it interesting that this area in Berlin is where Nazis used to march to celebrate their victories, but now this area is used to protest against racism. There are also digital tools that allow people to participate in the decision-making process for their own community. If we're just talking about your interests, Facebook seems to have a group for everything, even a group about the show Community. At a much larger scale, this could be improving the connectivity within the city so that people are able to connect with others while they go to their destination. So for example, improving public transportation instead of relying on private vehicles, or using more share services such as the share cars, bicycles, or even umbrellas are popping up now. The next intervention, the how, relates to fulfilling the desire that people have to participate in their communities. This could be done by making the design more engaging by changing the way that we interact with it. Digitally, this is seen in apps all the time as a way to get our attention in an attractive way. In a public setting, this is done by allowing a variety of activities in the space so that we feel like there's a point going in there. Design can also enhance the rich communal experiences that we already take part in, such as halls, festivals, or even just cooking and eating events. In private dwellings, we should argue for designs that encourage more communal activities and opportunities for interaction with our neighbors. The last intervention, the why, refers to cultivating pride in our own community while being understanding of others' values and needs. This can be done by celebrating the public image of your community, either through a physical or digital environment. An example of this is a neighborhood like Chinatown that, while it's not always very accurate, it gives some people a place that they can call their own. Fashion is also a way that people like to represent their community. And while sometimes it's unconscious and you buy a particular shoe that you like, others might think that you're part of the collector community. Other designers have taken the challenge of improving everyday tasks with solutions that are more inclusive for everyone. An example of this is this dishware set that allows people to see how much water to fill, or in other items, it allows people to see how much food they're adding to their plate. So finally, to answer the question of how to design more impactful communities, I think designers can create platforms that allow people to interact and express themselves. We can improve environments for a respectful, engaging, and welcoming experience, and we can celebrate the unique characteristics of that community. Before you go, make sure you let me know in the comments how you think community affects design. Thanks. Thank you for watching this episode of Subjective Design. If design runs in your veins, make sure you subscribe for more concept discussions. You can also visit my Instagram page for updates and related content. Music for this video was produced by my friend 𝗖𝗄𝗋𝗋𝗄𝗋. Make sure to check out his channel for more original music.